Laura, let me start with you. What do you make of this stoush on the tax cuts? It's erupted.
Yeah, absolutely. And this was Jim Chalmers tempting the coalition to match this. They thought it was a wedge that they couldn't avoid matching this because the coalition has pretty much matched every single big spending measure so far. So you'd think that Angus Taylor, Peter Dutton would have to do that. They haven't done that. They've come out straight away tonight within minutes of the budget being handed down saying it's a hoax, we're not going to do it. But this is a big risk for the coalition, I think, because they want to be the party of lower taxes. They're not going to give it to the lower end. It's going to have to be bigger at the lower end and more generous at the higher end. And they've got to pay for their spending measures as well. So I don't know where they go with this, but they'd have to be thinking of something pretty clever at the moment. Also, not supporting tax cuts at the lower end. Yeah, it's just a sandwich or $5 at coffee, cheap coffee somewhere, but they also support the rebate on energy. So from this part, before we get into the campaign, it doesn't make sense. They're going to have to pull a rabbit out.
This is going to be really interesting, Laura, and I think Laura touches on that key point about the expenditure. So whether you look at the coalition's plans already on defence, they've said they're going to spend more than the incumbent, and on the nuclear plan. What do they do here, Chris?
Well, I don't think that anyone cares about paying anything back. You just have to look at the budget papers to say that. So I think that everyone's got a spending problem. What we do know is that neither this government nor the coalition has any plan to be able to fix the nation's finances, and we're just kicking that can down the road. One day somebody has to pay for this, but as we're talking about the president, this election campaign, what do you do if you're the coalition? Bracket creep, index brackets to wages, and get rid of the fact that people are being pushed up through those, and that's where all the money's going. In the long run, that's one of the real issues that we have. And people will say, well, how do you pay for it? Well, how do you pay for all of this? That's a really good question. I think that's a question that should be asked to both the Treasurer and the shadow treasurers. How do we afford this future that you've all signed up to?
Oh. So index tax thresholds.
Yep, so that you
remove bracket creep once and for all.
Bracket creep once and for all from the system. Every year you say whatever wages are, we're going to index to that.
Is there any scenario, Stephen Conroy, that you could see Peter Dutton getting up on Thursday night for the budget reply and not having any tax cut and saying he's going to take the fiscal responsibility route?
No, I think they've made such an argument that Australians are doing it tough. They've got to actually put some money where their mouth has been for 2.5 years. I'd love to think that someone could be as brave as Chris is suggesting. I think John Howard, 1977, lasted 18 months. No one knows what bracket creep is. There's not a vote in it. And
they have tried it once, haven't they?
1977.
Yeah, that's right.
They abandoned it after 18 months. Politicians like to be able to collect the money over the 2.5 years.
And get credit for giving it back.
Correct.
Exactly. So it didn't work.
And just... if the Conservatives tried it and gave it up, no one else.
So what do you think happens from here then?
I think
given
the
scathing assessment from Angus Taylor of these tax cuts.
I think he's got to bundle them up with some other savings. Like they might say, right, we'll take more off foreign aid. Yep. They'll build a bucket that they can try and outdo the size of these tax cuts.